Fired Brian Stouter says CNN must remain strong in his final reliable sources show ever. And also, he's leaving CNN as a multi-millionaire, and we're gonna go over that pretty soon. But let's check out this his words in this video.
We must make sure we don't give platforms to those who are lying to our faces. But we also must make sure we are representing the full spectrum of debate and representing what's going on in this country and in this world.
So basically, things that he didn't do.
That's why CNN needs to be strong. That's why I believe CNN will always be strong. You viewers at home, it's on you. CNN must remain strong.
I think he's probably gonna like cry at home when he goes back home, just bawling his eyes out. So it's like, wow, I really got fired from my job.
I know the 4,500 staffers are going to do their part to make it stronger than ever. But it's going to be on you to hold CNN accountable.
And the thing is, I don't really even understand how these news corporations have so many employees like at all, right? Because if you were to ever actually pay attention to a lot of these news organizations, they literally just copy and paste almost the majority of all of their news articles, right? Like almost word for word. Like it's beyond crazy. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so that's basically it. Yeah, so that's basically it in the video. So let's get into this. So Reliable Sources host Brian Stelter said goodbye to viewers Sunday following the show's cancellation, warning that CNN must remain strong and calling his role patriotic in a dramatic final monologue. I think it's a little bit hilarious that he calls his basically job patriotic. I mean, I don't really know what's patriotic about lying to your fans or your viewers. So Stilter was allowed to host one final episode of the low-rated program on the media, which was canceled on Thursday, making the end of CNN's longest running show. It's not partisan to stand up to demagogues, he said. It's required, it's patriotic. We must make sure we don't give platforms to those who are lying to our faces. I really wonder if like some of these like news people, these personalities, like ever, I don't know, listen to the words that are literally just getting pooped out of their mouth. Like, dear Lord. But we also must make sure we are representing the total spectrum of debate and representing what's going on in the country and the world. The comments could have been seen as a dig on new CNN chief executive Chris Litt, who has made a push for more centrist and less left-leaning coverage on the network since replacing disgraced boss Jeff Zucker in May. Stelter helmed the Sunday morning show for 9 years and was often critical of Fox News, even writing a book called Hoax: Donald Trump, Fox News, and the Dangerous Distortion of Truth. We must make sure we don't give platform blah 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 blah. We also blah, 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 blah. That's why CNN needs to be strong. That's why I believe CNN will always be strong. So the anchor media critic thanked Litt, formerly of CBS, saying it was rare to get to do a final show after cancellation. This might sound weird, but thank you to CNN's current boss, Chris Litt, for letting us say goodbye, he said. During an internal meeting on Friday, Litt apparently publicly thanked Stouter. I really appreciate all that Brian has done to build the media beat for CNN. He's a great human being. If you say so. And a good person. If you say so. I wish him all the best on his new venture, he said. So let's check out some of the comments before we talk about his multi-millionaire status, right? Let's see. Seltzer is a distorted caricature of what's wrong with CNN and liberals in general. intolerant of other points of view to the extent that he lies and distorts the truth about others lying and distorting the truth. Him and people like him have a right to their opinion, but they should also be accountable for the harm they cause. I agree. What does this huge piece of lard know about Strong? How many cheesecakes can he lift? Clinton News Network, if falling apart, stay classy. Fox News. Bye bye, Tater Tot with creepy smile. I gotta say, his smile is honestly creepy. Yeah, it's okay. Biden lies and lies and lies. Goodbye, Humpty Dumpty. Now get lost. Oof. CNN is still around. If they remain strong, what would mean they're strong right now, but they aren't, they're broken. He will always be linked to the most peaceful protest common as the rioters burn the city in the background. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else? Good riddance to your pathetic excuse of a newscaster with your high pitched voice and fake smile. Love how those who constantly lie accuse those who speak the truth as liars. Good riddance. Brian Stouter seems like the kind of guy that makes his wife's boyfriend coffee in the morning before he leaves for work, basically saying that he's a cuck. What he means is CNN has to remain in a permanent state of TDS. Yeah, apparently a lot of people, at least in this comment section, do not like him at all. But let's go over the net worth, right? So Brian Stilter net worth last updated on August 21st, 2022, which is today by filmsiapa.com, apparently. So what is Brian Stilter's net worth? Net worth is about $10 million. His profession is an anchor, but who knows what he's going to be doing in the future. Born September 3rd, 1985. Salary is about $1 million. So Brian Stouter is an American TV anchor and television personality who has a net worth of $10 million, roughly. Stouter began his career as editor-in-chief at the Tower Light while studying at Townsend University. Currently, Stouter is best known as CNN's chief media correspondent and the anchor of CNN's Reliable Sources. Stouter attracted more attention when he started hosting Reliable Sources and also has boosted ratings for CNN, which recently became the most watched cable news channel, but also they basically started to decay pretty soon after Trump left office. So Stouter recently resurfaced in the headlines after CNN announced the cancellation of its Sunday media affairs show Reliable Sources in August 2022 and the departure of anchor Brian Stouter from the network. So the highlights. Stouter was featured significantly in the 2011 documentary Page 1 inside the New York Times. Stouter has worked for CNN since 2013, so nearly 10 years. Stouter was named Tool of the Year in 2021 on the top-rated Greg Gutfeld show. Stouter has been named 3 years in a row to Forbes magazine's 30 Under 30 media list. Stouter was named in Fortune's magazine 40 Under 40 media and entertainment list. And Stouter was the host of Reliable Sources, which is no longer aired. So early life, Brian Patrick Stouter was born on 3rd September 1985 in Damascus, Maryland. His mother is Donna and his father is Mark Stouter. He was raised in a Methodist environment, but is now an atheist. No surprise there. Stouter spent the majority of his child years in Damascus and graduated from Damascus High School in 2003. College life. Stouter went on to attend Townsend University in Baltimore, Maryland, where he was the editor-in-chief of the Tower Light from 2005 to 2007. He founded TV Newser, a blog dedicated to television news coverage, in 2004, while a freshman at Townsend University. The same year, he sold it to MediaBistro.com, but he continued to edit and write for the blog for the following 3 years until he finished with a bachelor's degree in mass communications with a journalism major in 2007. Stouter then became a part of the Adweek blog network. Now he currently serves on the board of Baltimore Student Media, a nonprofit that publishes the Tower Light, Townsend's independent student newspaper. The career. Beginning in 2007, Stouter covered television and digital media for the newspaper's business day and arts sections. He was also a regular contributor to the Media Decoder blog. Following his departure from the Tower Light as the editor-in-chief, he joined the New Year Times as a media reporter in 2007. Is that the New York Times or the New Year Times? No, that's interesting. In 2013, he was appointed as the new anchor of CNN's Reliable Sources, as well as a senior media correspondent, significantly increasing the role previously held by Howard Kurtz at the network. At the show, he previously examined the week's top media stories and hosts Reliable Sources Daily on what was formerly known as CNN Plus, as well as also contributes to CNN Business and produces a nightly email newsletter. He is currently the inspiration for Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon's The Morning Show, and Stouter also serves as a consulting producer on the Apple drama and was previously an executive producer on HBO's documentary After Truth, Disinformation and the Cost of Fake News. Which, again, like, this is the thing, right? How do none of these, like, personalities ever, like, pay attention? Like, oh, wait, I'm trying to, like, talk about fake news while I'm also myself spreading fake news? Like, ugh, Lord. So Stelter leaving CNN. Reliable Sources was canceled after 30 years on the air on 18th August 2022. Stelter was a CNN mainstay, but is leaving after the show he hosted, Reliable Sources, was canceled due to a merger between CNN parent company Warner Bros. And Discovery. And in a statement to NPR, Stouter said of his exit from CNN, "It was a rare privilege to lead a weekly show focused on the press at a time when it has never been more consequential." So he actually has a couple books too. So in 2013, Stouter wrote the New York Times best-selling book Top of the Morning, Inside the Cutthroat World of Morning TV on the Cutthroat World of Morning News Shows. In 2020, Stouter wrote another best-selling book, Hoax, Donald Trump, Fox News, and the Dangerous Distortion of Truth, telling the twisted story of President Trump's relationship with Fox News. Over the past 2 years of writing this book, Stouter met more than 250 current and former Fox employees in an attempt to better understand the inner world of Rupert Murdoch's multi-billion-dollar media empire. Which, by the way, like, Rupert Murdoch is so filthy rich, like, it's crazy. The online and television publicity of his 2020 book caused the book to sell out swiftly and even required a rush reprint. However, the Daily Mail reported in 2021 that despite the book tour, total sales had immensely dropped. I wonder why. Personal life. Stouter previously dated CNBC anchor Nicole Lapin in 2011. He added that he had to notify his editor about the relationship and he committed not to cover CNBC while they were dating, but their relationship did not last. No surprise there. In 2014, Stouter later married a new NY1 traffic anchor, Jamie Shupak. The couple married in a Jewish ceremony, even though apparently he's atheist, and are also raising their children in Shupak Jewish faith. They have 2 children, Sunny Ray Stouter and Story Moon Stouter. So Brian Stouter's net worth. As of 2022, Brian Stouter's net worth is estimated to be $10 million. His salary is reported at $5 million and had a 1-year contract with CNN worth $1 million. Now he makes the majority of his money as a television journalist and newscaster, and Stouter currently lives in an estimated $329,000 home in the Upper West Side of Manhattan's Lincoln Park area, which has many wondering about his personal finances. Now, the thing that surprised me while I was doing a little bit of this research, right, is this part right here, right? Stelter currently lives in an estimated 329,000 home in the Upper West Side of Manhattan's Lincoln Park area, right? So, this makes me think that there's two routes. One, he has a lot of money stocked away hiding in different investments, which honestly I doubt, right? I actually personally believe that Brian Stelter was probably a moron with his money and probably was spending all of his money. That's my personal belief, right? Now he could have managed his money very well and maybe have turned this 10 million net worth actually more like into like 50 million to 100 million. That could be the reality, right? But from the way I've seen how he acts on his show or clips and all that kind of stuff, right? And where like his skull is so thick that he's not willing to admit when he's wrong and all that kind of stuff, right? Makes me believe that he's probably so stubborn that he's probably also been really, really bad with his money over the past nearly decade of making a lot of money and probably doesn't have much money saved and probably doesn't even have that much money in investments because it doesn't really make sense for someone to potentially have a net worth of $10 million dollars but live in like a $329,000 home. Like that doesn't really make much sense, right? Regardless of how frugal you are, because you also got to keep in mind too, the amount of people that probably dislike him is probably a very high amount, right? So, wouldn't he live in an area that probably provides a little bit more safety, a little bit more security, which of course is going to cost more? So, I'm guessing like it would make more sense for him to probably live in like a $1 million to $2 million home that is in a really good area that is very safe, right? For security reasons, right? Just to the nature of his job, and also by the fact that there's probably a lot of people that really, really do not like him, right? Because there's crazy people out there, right? So I think he was actually really bad with his money, his personal finances, and is probably honestly really scared about what's next for himself in terms of his career, right? Because I feel like if he doesn't get another job, he's probably screwed financially speaking, right? Which is crazy because anyone that has any slight understanding of personal finance would be able to live off of the amount of money that he's made over the course of his working career, right? Like he could literally be retired if he has any remote understanding of personal finances or just understands this very simple concept: spend less than what you have, spend less than what you make, right? If he just understood that, he would be okay. He could technically never work again for the rest of his life if he wasn't stupid with his money. But I, again, think he was, and I think he's basically going to be doing any sort of job, picking up any sort of job to try to make some sort of money, right? Similar to the way that Chris Como basically did, where he basically took on a job from basically an unknown network for like $1 million, right? Which, by the way, $1 million to like any normal human being would be like, oh my god, that's $1 million, right? But a lot of these news anchors, right, these personalities on these shows are making multiple millions of dollars every single year, right? So $1 million is basically nothing to them, right? From what they were originally making. I mean, feel free to give your thoughts. If you want to learn how to manage your money and not be worried about if you were to get fired or something, go down below and learn how to manage your money and get out of debt. Because once you're out of debt, you get an emergency fund and you got investments and whatnot kind of stuff. You're basically in a very safe spot, right? Which Brian Stouter probably is not.